Danish mermaid folklore goes all the way back to Viking times. In fact, there's a Norse book from 1250 that details sailors' superstitions surrounding mermaids. They were quite terrifying looking creatures, and you'd usually only see them when a storm was brewing. The mermaid would typically appear out of the water with fish in her hands. If she threw them at the ship, this meant that the ship was likely going down and you were going to die. If she either ate the fish or swam away from the ship, consider yourself very lucky because that meant you'd survive, even if the storm was bad. So, mermaid lore in Denmark definitely started long before both Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale, The Little Mermaid, and the famous statue that has become a worldwide symbol of Denmark. Adding to this deep tradition, there's even a stretch of water in Copenhagen so famous for real mermaid sightings going back hundreds of years that they eventually put a statue there in their honor. In this video, I'll show you where in Copenhagen you can find it, as well as 4 other mermaid statues. Let's get the most famous one out of the way, the Little Mermaid. And she is indeed little. That's the biggest criticism tourists have about this statue. Standing at only 4 foot 1 inches tall, she was commissioned by Carlsberg beer founder 𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗬𝗧 after he saw a ballet based on the famous Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. The statue was unveiled here in 1913, brought to life by sculptor 𝗬𝗜𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 in storage somewhere for safekeeping, and you can understand why. This statue is constantly a target for vandalism. She's had her head cut off twice, been graffitied on, blown up, you name it. She's a popular target for political messages, as it's a surefire way to get media attention. Her original head, even on the hidden away original 1913 statue, was never found. A lot of people are underwhelmed by her, but I still say she's worth a visit. If nothing else, it's a lovely walk along the waterfront, and it's only 10 minutes away from another mermaid on my list. This one you're gonna have to look down for, like way down, as in under the water. Yes, the next mermaids, or I should say mermen, are located here underneath 𝗖𝗛𝗣𝗘𝗥𝗬𝗧. Based on Danish folktale called 𝗦𝗡𝗑𝗏 and the Merman, the story goes that a woman called 𝗦𝗡𝗏 met and fell in love with a merman under the sea. I know, typical, right? They had 7 sons together until one day 𝗦𝗡𝗏 decided to return to land, leaving them all down below the water. So here is the man and his 7 sons, arms outstretched, crying for her to return. The man even holds a small baby in his arms. It's really heartbreaking, but hey, let this be a lesson to you that Danish fairy tales almost never end happily. Just wait until you find out how the original Little Mermaid ends. This mermaid came 8 years after its more famous older sister, the Little Mermaid that we saw earlier. Sculpted in 1921 by female Danish sculptor 𝗦𝗡𝗠𝗟𝗡𝗏, this one is also a replica, but you can go see the original in person in the Danish National Gallery. This one has a really interesting expression. She looks like she's gasping for air after she's just been pulled out of the water. And she was placed in this area for a very specific reason. Historically, this spot was known to have a high frequency of mermaid sightings. It's hallowed mermaid ground, or waters, I should say. So keep an eye open if you come here. Her sisters may be just out of sight in the waters below. This mermaid, as you walk up, you'll notice looks a little off. This statue is part of a series called the Genetically Altered Paradise, created by a professor at the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts called 𝗬𝗠𝗠𝗏. So the genetically altered mermaid has some friends on land keeping her company. This mermaid is only a 10-minute or so walk from its more famous older sister, the Little Mermaid statue. Also, these sculptures came much later. They were placed here in 2006. Still worth a look if you ever come by this way, although there's not much else in this area. This is a quick one, but there's a large golden mermaid you can see hanging over a gastropub in København. She's fairly new, the restaurant only launched in 2017, but it's certainly one you won't miss as you stroll down the harbour. So, there you have it. There's 5 merpeople you can come and see in Copenhagen. I'll put Google Map links down in the episode description below if you want to come mermaid hunting yourself. Thanks for watching and see you next time.